we're back from the wilds of the British Columbia mountains and gluing on the leading edge, that final piece of the leading edge. That was straightforward. I've glued on the last rib of the Hoerner wing tip. Now I marked and I cut and I sanded and marked and cut and sanded, so that is basically in place. I'm still going to sand the edge all the way along there, flush with the wing afterwards, but it's fitting into spot really well. And especially what I wanted to take care of was this joint here and how it's going to wrap around there. See here that I also glued in. Previously I glued on this stiffener here. I've glued on this stiffener here that the leading edge will wrap around and grab onto it, just giving more meat to that leading edge when it wraps around. This is doing the same thing, just giving meat to this to glue onto. And then tomorrow we will be able to flip the wing over, glue this around, and see if there's any other place. I think I've got it pretty close so that the leading edge has got a good grip on here and on here, so that leading edge, when it comes around here, will have some good meat to get onto. We'll double check that when we flip the wing and wrap that leading edge around, just to make sure that it's got something good to glue onto and it's got a good solid joint there. That's it for today. That's a quick one. Tomorrow we'll continue. It'll probably just be loaded up tomorrow afterwards anyways. Like I said, I don't know if you can see it here, this sits proud. So we'll just sand this nice and flat all the way along. And the same with the top. We'll make sure that that's good, nice, smooth all the way across, and the fabric can just wrap right around and it'll be nice and smooth there. All right. Got the furnace going. It's cold out there today. I was going to remove all the clamps. I got that leading edge glued on. I'm going to let it set up for another day or so to make sure that with this colder weather in here, it's not freezing in here, but I want to make sure the epoxy is good and set before I take those clamps off. But you can give an idea of what it's looking like. I'm right against the wall here. I carved a little bit away there, smoothed it out a bit. That's got to be smoothed out totally, but that gives you an idea of what that Hoerner wingtip is going to look like, and I think it's looking pretty darn good. So I'll let it set up. Those clamps will come off, then I can do a little more detail work to make sure that's good and smooth and covered up in there. Inside there, it's a sealed unit now. Before I put this on, I varnished the inside to make sure that all the wood in there is covered so that we won't have any problems with rot happening in there. So that's been done. Like I said, just have to smooth that out a bit. I did smooth this out, sanded it, so it's a nice smooth surface. I don't know if you saw this before. I put on a couple more little braces on there just to fit tight against that last rib. Not sure what to do, whether to do fabric over top of that. I was thinking too, just take a piece of plywood maybe to finish off that last strip there. That would make that a nice continuous strip on the back there, add strength to this tip. You're going to have another stiffener in here, but I think I might go with just a little scrap of plywood just on the back there, and that would finish that off nicely as well. Give a little bit more strength to that. You don't need any more strength. This is now solid. I was thinking of making these T's, like angle irons, like the ones that are on there. But there is no give in there whatsoever. That is solid now. I'm not worried about any strength on the back there. All right. So I'm just gonna wait, let that glue dry. We'll get that wing off the table. Then I can start working on the flaps and ailerons. Some metal I picked up locally. I've got some more coming from Aircraft Spruce for doing the different hardware on there. And then that wing can get hung up and I can start on the second wing. Second wing should go fairly quickly. All the ribs, false ribs, spars, everything's been cut up already. So that should move along smoothly. It's getting there, folks. See you next episode.